Loading program, Trekommendations.
So maybe it's never happened before, but maybe at this point there will have been some sound effects. We'll see.
Oh, man. Those sound effects were so good.
Wow, what awesome sound effects.
Welcome to Trekommendations, a Star Trek podcast that brings on incredible guests to help me scan through almost 60 years of Star Trek content to find the hidden gems. My name, of course, is Jason, and joining me this week, we have Ryan and Tara Schile from Starship Tempest.
That's right.
Hello.
And I saw the little, yeah, he got my name right.
Yes.
Well
She
done.
was tough, yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah, if I'd said I could have gone with, Eel, I could have gone with Captain Rigel Maddox, I would have known all the other names.
Yeah,
It's trying to remember your real names that's the problem. That's
That's a fair point.
now well, first of all, this is the first time I've had a power couple on the show.
Wow.
Usually it's been single guests, so
We're honored.
it's nice to have you on together. So that's exciting. We'll see how that works with the calibration question of things that are coming up.
I'm excited about it.
Before we get to that, though, just to remind everybody, you can reach the show by email at trekommendations@gmail.com, or you can DM me on any of the social media platforms at Trekommendations. And at the end of the show, I will read some of those out.
Oh,
Although
fun.
I need to find them. I've just remembered that I do that. So at the end of the show, you'll see me scrambling to find some to read out. But that will happen.
Oh, vamp. Do jazz hands.
I've brought the right people on. That's excellent. So
Calibrating.
we've got some calibration questions just to set the tone for your level of Star Trek fandom, I'd say.
Uh-oh.
No wrong answers. No wrong answers. And I've made these, I think, unique to you guys as well. I've tried.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So I know, Ryan, you do a lot of sound design on the podcast.
Correct.
So my question to you is, what is your favorite sound effect in Star Trek?
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
That is a really good question.
There's so
Favorite sound effect in all of Star Trek. I will say that
Boo-boo.
that's an inside joke
know,
story,
sorry.
but I can tell that one later.
It's a good one.
I would have to say, honestly, it's got to be the whale probe from
Oh.
Star Trek 4 because of how it came to be. And the story quickly of how it came to be, if memory serves, Leonard Nimoy, the director, wasn't quite happy with how the sound design was going. And he's like, no, it should be like this, like, wow, 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 wow. And then the sound designer is almost a joke, like, well, why don't you just record it then? And that's what they did. They put it up to his neck and goes, whoa, 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 whoa,
It
whoa.
was Leonard Nimoy?
I believe so. And it
Hilarious.
might have been the sound designer.
Okay.
But regardless, it is literally just a human voice pressed up against the neck, doing that and then processing afterwards.
Huh.
So for its organic arrival onto the actual big screen is why that's probably my favorite.
That's really cool.
Now, you see, this seems like such a little question. I actually asked my wife, like, is this a stupid question to ask? But he does sound design on their Star Trek podcast. So,
Yeah.
but what's fascinating is you've not just given us a great sound effect. There's been like a whole history lesson in there linked to the film.
Right?
I think people are like, oh, this guy, he's not just a casual. He's not just
Yeah.
sat down and Star Trek was on TV, so I watched it.
Right.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay. Now, we've mentioned your show, Starship Tempest, which is an actual play. So you are playing Star Trek Adventures.
Yes.
So my question to you guys is, obviously you've got a wonderful team that do that with you. But if you were to add one character from Star Trek to your team to play the game, who do you think would fit with your group?
Well, in general, as a person, I want to play with Doug Jones because he's like the nicest man alive. So I would say Saru would be a really cool addition to all of the chaos that is our show.
Saru would be a really
It'd
cool
be really
addition.
calming, and like his whole episode with the ganglia and like that
Yeah.
whole, like overcoming fears and so and so. I think he'd be a really good addition. But I just want to hang out with Doug Jones. So.
Yeah.
But I think you need to make him play a different type of character. Like he's got to play a Klingon or something.
Oh yeah, he could do. I mean, he could be whoever he wants. Like,
yeah, we
that
we can put on any kind of prosthetics that he wants in our
yes,
podcast.
In our podcast, yes.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a really good answer. I also just to throw a little bit of bait out there for some listeners who haven't heard Starship Tempest. We actually do overlap with quite a few original, not original series, but Star Trek characters do come into play in our show. So no more spoilers than that, but there might be one upcoming, Jason, that might join the cast.
Exciting.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Spoilers.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting because the new season has started. I've already listened to the first episode, guys. So,
Oh, good.
and by the time that this comes out, I'll have listened to the second one probably.
Excellent.
So that's because it's not yet out. But
Yes.
yeah, interesting. Excellent. Okay, good answers. I like it. I'm curious because you know how he kind of does the arm swing behind his. I'm wondering how he rolls dice. That's all I'm thinking is
Extremely gracefully.
Oh, yeah, it would be beautiful.
excellent. Tara, I think this is a similar question, but it's very similar, but I think there's a slightly different dynamic to it.
Okay.
If you were to host a Star Trek dinner party, you can have several guests and they can, time is no issue. You can grab them from different parts of the Star Trek timeline.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a great little group to get together for a meal?
Oh my gosh. Well, I would want to collect the storytellers because that's my form of currency is storytelling. Like, sit at my table, tell me a great story. So
You're like that species from Voyager.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I would love Scotty and Bones. I would love, Riker probably, Data would not stop talking ever, but I would have it. Like, that would be awesome. I don't know. Gosh.
Those are really good answers.
I'm just like plucking all my faves. So
I think you'd have to throw Zephram Cochrane in there too.
Oh, probably.
Talk about a party animal.
He'd be so feisty.
He'd be drunk and hilarious.
Yeah, he's cranky. He'd be the cranky old uncle. I don't know. I need more ladies though, so I would need. Yeah, I would want Uhura in there. I would want Beverly, of course. Yeah, and probably Deanna
and Janeway.
Janeway, yeah.
Although
also feisty.
Very feisty.
Well, she and Zephram Cochrane can like duke it out.
Yeah. Or just you sit them at different ends of the table.
Yeah,
yes. You're down here, you're down there.
There have to be name cards for where everyone's supposed to sit, actually.
Yeah. Excellent. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking how interesting it would be to have Scotty speaking with Zephram Cochrane because obviously, Geordie had the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
But Scotty, I think he would
nerd out. Yeah.
Oh, and Mark Twain.
But in such a different way, though. In such a different way to Geordie. That's what I think would be good to watch. Okay. Excellent. Well, great answers. That's very nice. I think I feel like you've been well and truly calibrated. So it's at this point that I will add my clock to the screen. Again, I'm thinking to go into red alert at this point. I think this is going to be a new thing as well. We're going to go red alert. You've got 60 seconds or the podcast will self-destruct. So, Ryan, Tara, one of you, I don't know who's going to do this. This will be interesting. I hope you've negotiated beforehand because in 60 seconds or less, could you please tell us what is your Trekommendation and why you've brought it to the show?
Yes. Okay. So our Trekommendation is the Trek track at the convention DragonCon in Atlanta, Georgia. DragonCon started in 1987. It's over Labor Day weekend every year. They have many different tracks. There's like the Star Wars track. There's Trek track, obviously. There's Brit track, which has a lot of Doctor Who, science track, space track, everything you think, anime, everything you can think of has its own track. And within each of those tracks are cosplayers and panels and guests and all of that stuff. But the Star Trek track is near and dear to our hearts because they have had us come and we've started doing panels every year. This was our fourth. Yep. We do a Star Trek hot takes panel and a trivia panel for introverts, which is really fun. And they also do great fundraisers that DragonCon matches the funds raised every year. And it's very inclusive. So that's why. That's all the reasons why.
Wow, you nailed that.
Yeah.
Right on the nose. 60 seconds. Boom.
I had to do elevator pitches in college, so.
How did you practice that? That's what I want to know.
I did it. I wrote some notes. That's all I did.
Very good. Nice. DragonCon. Well, I've heard some of the panels because you've done some panels, and I know you've recorded them and put them out kind of during your I was gonna say mid-season breaks, but not like between season breaks.
Yeah. It's been both actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool, wouldn't it? So it's interesting. So it's not a Star Trek convention.
Not necessarily, no.
However, there's a big Star Trek presence at
Yes.
this convention.
The way that I like to describe it for somebody who hasn't gone, so if you're not a convention goer in general, the general public thinks, here's convention, they think Comic-Con. And so, but for Dragon Con, it is basically a convention of conventions. It takes every idea, every fandom that exists, every, there's not just like fandoms per se, there's gaming, there's writing, there's literal science, it is such
It's
a
dancing
conglomeration.
and drum circles.
It's 80,000 of the coolest nerds in the world descend on Atlanta for a long weekend, and it is just a giant celebration of anything you want to celebrate.
And it's entirely fan run.
Yep.
So it's a nonprofit. It's not some huge corporation that just wants all your money as you walk in the door. It's like a pretty reasonable ticket price for the entire weekend. And like the accommodations are difficult. It takes place over 5 now.
It's 4 primary host hotels and a bunch of satellite hotels.
Right. And so getting a room in one of those main hotels is ideal, but also at this point you kind of have to be grandfathered in to get a room in there or pay through the nose. But there are tons of hotels. It's downtown Atlanta, so there's hotels everywhere and Airbnbs and all of that kind of stuff. So you can do it and get there, but staying on property is something we've been lucky enough to be able to do for about 20 years, which is crazy town. The first time we went was in 2005, and we drove from Florida to Atlanta, Georgia, and we walked in with all of our stuff and went to the counter and said, "Could we have a room, please?" And they said, "Yes, of course." And we stayed there. That would never happen.
We can officially say we did Dragon Con before it was cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it only got cool once they started bringing on the Tempest crew as panel, right? So that's
you know how to butter the guests, don't you?
Yeah, it's interesting though because I'm always looking for cons these days that are like convenient to get to, or that are fitting into my kind of schedule and work with what I've got going on with the kids and the family and stuff like that. And it's really hard to know if there's going to be like a good Star Trek presence. Unless it is, so it's either tends to be like, oh, this is a Star Trek convention, and then you're like, okay, that's fine. But when it's kind of like a mixed convention, it's really hard to know. I went to one just because it was 20 minutes down the road. So I was like, well,
sure.
I went there and I saw 2 people that had any Star Trek kind of indicators on them at all. Lovely chats with both those people. Like it was really nice. And because actually it worried me a bit because I'd had this plan going in with something I wanted to do at conventions for the show. And I basically put all my stuff away after I'd been there for a little while because I was like, oh, there's just nobody here Star Trek-y to talk to. And I didn't feel comfortable trying to do what I would planned with other people. Yeah. And then as soon as the Star Trek people turned up, I was like, oh, and amazing chats. And even though I didn't record anything, I was like, this would work if I was where there are more people. So now I'm looking at like which guests are going to be there.
Yeah, smart.
And maybe they will. So there's one very close that, one Deanna Troi will be turning up at. So I'm like, that's a good one to go to because it's very close. This year, Comic-Con Liverpool has William Shatner.
Oh, cool.
But that's one of the things where as an English person, I'm like, that's quite far. And as an American, you'll be like, what are you talking about? That's as far as we go to do some grocery shopping. I'm like, I know.
That's quite far.
But I live in England and, an hour is far. No. Okay. So I like that. I'm interested. What brought you there the very first time then? If you went there before it was cool. And also what really upset me was when you were like, oh, we've been going there for 20 years. And then the going back was still in the year 2000 suddenly made me feel
I know
so old because I was like, oh yeah, 20 years ago.
It's happening. It's happening, Jason. We're getting old.
It's hard.
So the very first convention I ever went to, and I think you as well, was a small convention called MegaCon in Orlando. I guess it's not terribly small compared to Dragon Con. It's very small. MegaCon in Orlando. And we had never gone, but our friend Travis was living in and around the area. So we went with him. and we just thought it was really fun. And it was the
This is
first time
neat.
we went to
I
a
showed Lou
convention.
Ferrigno's hand, and it was very, very soft.
Yeah, softest hands in the industry.
Yeah.
But when we told we talk about being old. We talked to yet another friend of ours. Now he was a graduate student when we were in undergrad. So he's a couple, 4 or 5 years older than us. And he said he used to go to this convention every year in Atlanta called Dragon Con. And so literally, like Tara said, it was 2005. We had just gotten back from this MegaCon experience, and it was a blast. And we're like, what if we make a road trip and go to Dragon Con?
I was like, I have a station wagon. Let's do this.
Having no idea about the logistics. And if we did that today, we wouldn't have gone. We literally would not have gone, because you can't possibly get a room that way.
Yeah.
But like she said, not only did we just show up, say, hey, can we have a room? And they said yes. We got a room in the downtown Marriott Marquis, which is the biggest of the hotels at Atlanta. It's like the crown jewel of the Dragon Con hotel experience. So we got a room there, and like we said, have never missed a year since, other than COVID. And then in 2021, we avoided it for the same reasons. But that's why we went, and we've been going back ever since.
Wow, that's how you get a panel, people. You've got to be consistent. You've got to go there for 20 years, and then
someone we met our very first year, he was actually very upset because Ryan and Matt were wearing Star Trek stuff with a stormtrooper helmet, and he was like, absolutely not. He was very upset with it. So we became friends with this man over the years, and he started coming to see a costume group that we do that's too much to explain. But he started showing up every year, and we're like, hey, it's that angry guy. We said for a while, and then we're like, wait, I saw him before. Wait, he always dresses like Cisco. Wait, he runs the con suite. So we got to know Joe Campbell, who is like he's one of those storytellers that I would have at the table. Like, he's amazing character.
And he would show whether he's invited or not to that dinner party.
I was going to ask whose spot is he taking?
Right? Yeah, that's
like, sorry, Data. There's no space at the table anymore.
He'd be like, scoot over. So I reached out to Joe at some point, because I am a it doesn't hurt to ask kind of person. So I said, Joe, if I wanted to have a panel at Dragon Con, like if Starship Tempest hosted something, who would we talk to? Would that be you? And he was like, no, it would be Leo, but I'm going to give you his email because I love you guys. And I was like, oh, okay. So I talked to Leo, and Leo was like, how many panels do you want to do? 4 or 5? And we were like, well, wait. So
you were thinking one?
Yeah, right. So that was kind of how that all.
She is the opposite of me, in that I am a coward and would not put myself out there like that. But she is fearless, and so the whole reason we are on the panels at Dragon Con, and now it is like an integral part of our experience, is because this beautiful woman right here had the fortitude to do it when the rest of us cowards couldn't.
Okay.
How's the response to the panels?
Really good.
At first, we had not as many people in the crowd, and we were like, okay, well, they don't know who we are. And we had Starship Tempest on the title of one of our panels once, and they didn't know who we were. So, whatever. But once Leo worked with us on what to title them and asked us if we would host the Star Trek Hot Takes panel, first of all, we were all like, what's a hot take? Like, we don't know what exactly. So once we had the right names on things, we showed up for a panel, and there was a line out the door and around the hall.
We thought we must have got our times wrong. This is for somebody else.
Yeah, but it was for our panel, and we're like, oh my God. So that was a huge
So like Tara said, we had 4 or 5 panels our very first Dragon Con, and it was too much. It was too much. And because, as she pointed out, for the ones that were Starship Tempest centric, there was not the audience for it. But we always did the trivia, and the trivia was a raging success even the first year. Well, I will say the attendance was a success. We learned a lot from our first experience hosting it. We kind of fumbled through the grading of the trivia.
It's hard to hand grade everything.
But giving all the credit in the world,
is amazing.
Giving all the credit to the world to Travis, who took the bull by the horns. By the next year, we had a digital grading system, so it's like a fill in the blank bubble test kind of thing, and now we got it down to a science, and it's a much better process. So our first panels weren't well attended except for trivia. And then every year since, even like Tara asked the question every year, and you probably heard it, Jason, on the recordings, like, how many of you have heard of Starship Tempest? And now half the room raises
and
their.
we're like, oh my god.
Now it's probably just because they were there last year, but whatever.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
We like to assume it's because they listened to the show.
Yeah, I hope they do now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to ask if you'd seen an uptick in the show from, but I suppose like most people that are going on, well, I was going to say most people that are going are not there also at the same time being like, and this is going to promote my podcast. But I
Right.
imagine that actually quite a lot of the people that go probably do also have podcasts
Right.
or Instagrams or TikToks or something that they're, and cons are a great opportunity to find those like-minded people
100%. And
and maybe gauge them a little bit more astutely than you can just looking online at somebody.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. The so I would say that we have not seen an appreciable uptick in our total viewers or downloads, and we've had nice steady growth over the years. But we have absolutely gotten patrons that we've now become more intimately connected with and more personal. Like we know them now personally and our friends through DragonCon who met us at the panels. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I was also going to say I used it to grow our Instagram because I wanted us to give away prizes, and I thought like there's got to be a cool way to support the artists in Artist Alley, because we went one year and Artist Alley had been moved from a main location to the top floor of a building across all the streets and merchandise. It was a whole thing. So I wanted to help get people over there. So I started reaching out to artists who specifically do Trek art, who were going to be at Artist Alley at DragonCon. And I reached out and said, if you would be willing to donate a prize, a coupon, a print, whatever, we'll give it away. And I'll give it away as a thing they have to bring to you to get their art. So then when they go, they see all your Star Trek art and whatever else you have, bring a friend with them, etc., to pick up their prize. And the first year I had like 5 artists that were willing to do that. Last year, I had like 20 artists who all donated pieces and multiple pieces. And it was so cool. And
it's brilliant.
Thank you. And it was a really neat way for us to like support one another. And that's a huge part of DragonCon. It's a family. It's very supportive, if you lose your purse, not a thing is going to be stolen out of it. Someone's going to gingerly take it to the lobby desk and say, this was lost. It's the sweetest humans. It's crazy. It's just a rare dual world.
I really hope we haven't just ruined that now. And some people are like, oh, hold on. I know where to go.
Yeah, easy pickings, but yeah.
Well, purse, yes. Kindness. A flask, no.
A flask, no. Yeah.
My beloved flask, I lent out to somebody, and they immediately lost it. No, and that never came back.
That's gone forever.
Oh, and you needed the flask for the courage on the panel, didn't you?
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've mentioned that. So I'm assuming anyone listening to this is going to be like, yes, the track is what I want, but also, sci-fi, right? Like people love, we mix genres. Some people are even crazy enough to wear, a Starfleet uniform and a stormtrooper helmet. So it's not unheard of.
Right.
If you want to jump the tracks to the other panels, the other things, like how easy is that to kind of see other stuff, or are you kind of locked into, I'm here for the Trek stuff?
No, it's super easy. There's a huge program book and an app, which the app is kind of a running joke because it's very clunky and like takes forever to, what's the word? Refresh. It takes forever to refresh. But so you just go through the program each day and you can highlight stuff you want to do. And as long as you build in getting from the Hilton to the Marriott or the Marriott to the Hyatt or whatever, you can bounce back and forth all day long. And we used to attend some panels, and then over time, because we work so hard on our cosplays, the kids are sending messages via the computer. Great.
That message was 6-7. Because of course 6-7.
Perfect.
Oh, see, my son has now said we can't do that anymore.
Oh, good.
He said it's 2026 now, Dad. 6-7 is in the past.
6-7 is out.
Oh, I love your son.
That's what I've been told. But my daughter still does it, and then my son. tells her we're not
Yeah.
doing that anymore. So,
It has trickled down from the 11-year-old to now the 6-year-old who does it. So perfect. That's probably who did that. Anyway, what was I saying?
Well, yeah, about the programming and getting. So it's really
we
just
used to do a lot of panels, but we got so involved in cosplay and there's like photo shoots all throughout the con for the, they gather. The Star Trek photo is one that we always request that we don't have a panel on Sunday at 1:00 because there's a huge Star Trek cosplay photo shoot. And so because we started doing photo shoots and panels and all of those things, we just sort of like get dressed, show up to a thing, go back to the room, put on something else, so
Yeah.
everybody's convention experience is so different.
Wildly different. There are people who show up and to your point, do nothing but panels. Like that is their con experience. They don't cosplay necessarily. They don't go to the parties afterwards, after hours. They just show up. They go to as many panels as they can arrange in their own personal schedule for the day, for all 4 days of the con. And that's their experience. We, for a long time, like Tara was saying, had a hybrid where we would go to some and then but then we've, like she already said it, we lean so heavily into cosplay. And now that our own panels that we're hosting, we don't really attend many others now.
Which, like, snobs.
We are such snobs.
We should attend everyone.
I mean, at least you've said we don't attend them because, we go off and do some cosplay stuff. Not, since we started doing our own panels, it's hard to listen to other people trying to do panels.
Oh God, can you imagine?
And you're just leaning over and going, I would have said it differently.
Yeah.
Did you notice how they forgot to hold the mic up when they asked that question?
That's actually something we're not good at Dragon Con.
I always elbow the fellas and like, eat the mic. You have
she
to.
mentioned the gentleman Leo who runs the Trek track.
Yeah.
He always tells us he says before every panel, remember, you have to swallow the mic.
Yeah.
And like Brian will start and then we'll inevitably be
like,
over here and talking this way.
Brian.
It's like,
Yeah, it amazes me because I when I do like as I've been with Tempest from the beginning, you've also know that I do other media stuff outside of Star Trek, and with that, like I've got like the little DJI mics that I use for interviews and stuff, but I've got like I stick it on a stick with then like the big kind of microphone muff over the top, and hand it to people because I'm like otherwise they just start gesturing without like they're not conscious of that they're holding a microphone.
Right, yeah.
Like, guys, you need to.
That's funny.
It's a microphone, and usually when I'm interviewing them, it's loud in the place because there's like live music going on and like people are dropping equipment and stuff all over the place. Yeah. I'm like, sometimes I can't really hear you, but I know the mic will pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, please hold the mic.
Please.
As close to your face as you can.
Oh, Tara, you'd be so bad at that.
Oh, I talk with my hands all the time. My great grandfather used to say, "You can't sit on your hands and describe a spiral staircase." And I'm like, I tried it, but then I like my face to do it.
Yeah, but I also, it's funny because I've put the camera down a little bit today, but actually usually it's like over here and under the desk, my hands are going like when I'm talking to people.
100%.
And some people say, oh, you lived in Italy for 10 years. That's why you speak with your hands. And I'm like, I wish that was the reason. I just
you can go with that though.
I wish that it wasn't all the years before that as well that I talk with my hands. Okay, so I just want to ask about the cosplay stuff a little bit.
Sure.
So I've seen a lot of your, again, if people are following you on social media, they see a lot of your costumes, some quite deep cuts at times from the world of Star Trek. Have you got a favorite cosplay that you've done?
Oh man, a Star Trek specifically?
I mean, for the sake of this show, yes, but then give me your real answer afterwards.
So my favorite Star Trek one I probably did was the holodeck.
The holodeck was good.
So I found a dress that was the same pattern as the holodeck, and I thought that was funny all by itself. So then I got a fedora, and I ordered on eBay a bunch of figurines of characters that had been in the holodeck. So I had Dixon Hill and Gloria from Cleveland and like Beverly Crusher in that outfit. I had the Western Worf and Alexander, and I just had a bunch of
Fistful
random
of Datas
and Data. And I put them all over this hat, and then it was just the holiday. It was very
But
comfortable.
you had the arch.
Oh yeah, and then a friend of mine 3D printed before other people had 3D printers. 3D printed me the arch, and I wore that as a belt, so it was just floating in the holodeck. I was very proud.
It was very cool.
It was
a good
very
one.
casual. I was very proud of it.
Yeah, I like when you can combine. Like, I mean, the holodeck is instantly recognizable as a design. Like,
Mhm.
you know what that is.
Yeah.
But then you're like, this is also, I can wear this all day if I
Right.
need to. This is comfortable. Whereas sometimes you get like, this costume looks amazing. You're like, it does. It's perfect. It's amazing. I can probably wear it for 10 minutes. And then
That was I just did Queen Charlotte on the Bridgerton, which was Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton, but Star Trek. And then I built a huge beehive wig situation with a spaceship floating. The ambassador.
It was ambassador class. Yep.
Ambassador, which is us on Tempest, floating in the middle of it. But the headpiece was so heavy that I was like, we have to take pictures and I have to be done now.
But then you wore it for hours.
Then I wore it for a long time because people really
impressed.
liked it.
Yeah.
and you measured yourself afterwards. You're like, I've lost like 2 inches. I don't know what's going on.
I know. My spine is compressed.
So my favorite cosplay that I've ever done, it just also happens to be Star Trek, and also happens to be of the genre of I shouldn't have worn it for as long as I did, which was Data at the end of First Contact after his face has been melted away.
It looked awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I nailed that cosplay. It was something that I had thought about doing for a long, long time, and then but I couldn't figure out how I was going to illuminate the left side of my face, and then I was wearing an ugly sweater for Christmas, and it had lights, and it had really thin LED lights in it, and I was like, oh, and I ripped them out of the sweater, and I started playing with it. I was like, I can do this year, I can do this, and I did. It came together really, really well, and it was really well received. I was sweating my arse off the whole time in Atlanta, Georgia. But man, that was my favorite.
I thought you were going to say the hand.
Oh, that's a good one.
I thought you were going to say the hand as well.
Yeah.
Okay. The Hand of Apollo from Who Mourns for Adonai was definitely one of my. That was a good one.
So simple. But everybody loved it.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's got to be annoying, isn't it? Like if it's too easy, and then you're like, I did this one. I had to rip apart a sweater to find the thing. I worked out this solution to a problem that I couldn't solve. And then I was like, just paint your hand green. And then
but it's so brilliant, right? Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's so. You were saying that there's a lot of cosplayers there. Is there also so I went to a con recently and they had, they have like their cosplay competitions, and they had kind of these different categories that was quite interesting, and it was like first time cosplayers, and so they kind of got one rank, and then they'd done quite a clever thing where it was like homemade was one category, and then I think they had something as like embodying the character was another category. So it was like if you've gone out and bought a costume or something like that, but then you've made an effort to kind of, like there was somebody there with like a Power Ranger costume, and it like looked, it looked perfect, and they were like swinging around the, whatever, and you're kind of like, it looks good, but obviously you've just purchased the helmet and the costume and all of that. But it was quite nice that they had. And then they had like the junior, like little kids category.
Yeah, that's great.
I always love those.
But I think it's nice because it really gets people into like, I can do this kind of.
Yeah.
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 Which I say with a project that I have in my mind that I've got the stuff now I need to do to make it, and I just have no time. I'm just
like 10 minutes a day. You could do it.
10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
We and by we I mean Tara has participated in the costume contest at DragonCon.
Well, once.
What? Well, you have?
No, twice.
Twice, yeah.
I did a Star Wars one and a late night
little
horror.
Little Red Riding Hood, yeah.
That's a funny story, but it's not Trek related. So.
But what we have found at DragonCon is, for us personally, and this, again, some people go specifically for the costume contest. Like, that's their intent for DragonCon. It took up way too much of the day.
It's a huge time investment.
Because there are hundreds of people participating. And just for you to get through the judging process, it's a 4-hour queue, So it's a lot.
Yeah, in a costume you said you can only wear for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Yes, I
And they're
wanted to
like,
cut my feet off.
yeah, the makeup's all running now because you've been sweating so much. And then, nah,
Exactly.
doesn't
By
look
the
great. And you're like, it looked amazing 4 hours ago.
Yeah,
Should
you
let me in.
then.
Speaking of makeup and sweating, when I did General Chang from Star Trek
Yes.
6 the one year, that was also, I was really proud of that one because
It was cool.
Tara had gone and taken what was his name?
Anthony Kozar.
Anthony Kozar's makeup class. He was a champion on
I want to say Face Off. Yeah,
I think it's
right?
Face Off.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was a big makeup competition, special effects makeup.
Yeah, he was
awesome
on the TV show and he won. Tara ended up taking his class, and so I learned from Tara how to build prosthetic pieces out of liquid latex. And I built since I'm a bald individual, it wasn't too much of a stretch to get the ridges on there, but it came together really cool, really well. But once it was all like layered on and glued on, there was like this little bubble that started forming, and it was like the scene from Rocky where it's like, "Cut me, Mick," and Tara like cuts the little bit of latex, and
it was just so gross.
It was a lot, yeah. So yeah, we got stories.
Yeah, these are the things people don't see. This is like they see one picture on somebody's Instagram and they're like, "Oh yeah, that was a good." This is what they don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
Is there anything else about Dragon Con that you would say, kind of, you having gone to, so that you go to that con every year? That's that's like fixed in. Are there other cons you're going to, or are you like, no, it's Dragon Con and then we take the year to do other stuff? Or are you multi-conning it throughout the year?
We are a little multi-conning it. Not a lot of big ones like that, for sure. Sometimes we'll go to the Chicago-based ones because we're not far. But there is another one that we have now gone to several times, or at least twice, called Starbase Indy. And it is Star Trek only. It is like opposite end of the spectrum from Dragon Con. It is like super small, super homey.
Right.
It is a really kind group of humans that are, it's Thanksgiving weekend. And so it's like found family kind of thing. And everyone just comes together and talks about Star Trek, and they build a little bridge set that people can take pictures on. We saw 2 people get married there this year because they had met there 3 years ago. And like, it's just very cute. And so that's because it's in Indianapolis over Thanksgiving weekend. And so it's like a 3-hour drive for us. Yeah. So it's not bad, and the kids love it. And
I would say also that if we had the opportunity, if we didn't have other responsibilities, we would absolutely be going to the Star Trek convention in Vegas every year. Travis and Brian and Keeley already do the yearly Star Trek cruise, which we want to attend desperately, but it's 18 and up. It's adult only, so we can't even consider bringing the kids if we wanted to try to finagle that. And it's a very long cruise. It's like 10 14 days, something like that.
Something.
So
like,
finding
a long time to leave your kids, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, no one can have our kids for 2 weeks.
So we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. But in a few years, when I retire and have a little bit more time, I guarantee that we will be doing more conventions with more regularity and alacrity.
Oh, wonderful. If they've not listened to your show, they were like, what
is that word?
But we know. Yeah, do you know what? I found I was maybe delirious. It was late at night. I was scrolling. I saw a con that I'd never heard of, and I can't even remember now the name. Maybe it was Richmond. I think it was Richmond. And it was like Richmond, and I was looking at like some of the guests, and I was like, oh wow, they got some really good guests here. So there's Richmond in London. So I'm like, oh, I'm assuming it's that one.
Oh,
yeah.
And then I was like, let me see like the dates. I was like, oh, the perfect dates. And then I looked for the ticket price, and I was like, these prices are all in dollars.
Yeah.
Richmond, Virginia.
Wait a minute.
Oh man.
So like, let me just find out where this is. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit too far to go. So
bummer.
Yeah, cons are tricky, but
yeah,
that is on my 2026 list. Is like, I've got to get to a couple.
Yeah.
There's a few here that are similar. Like there's one that I think is quite as you were saying, more sort of smaller, intimate,
Yeah.
less going on there. There's a big one in Blackpool that everyone goes on about, that's meant to be very good. Maybe I'll get there. I don't know. And then I've been just kind of reaching out to people that are in the sort of Star Trek scene within the UK of like, which are the normal cons that tend to have that stronger Star Trek presence, and a couple have been suggested. So we'll see. But I, like you know, have kids, have stuff going on. I can bring them, but like they get bored quite quickly as well at the convention. I don't know how yours manage it. What do they go with you to Dragon Con?
They did this past year.
They did this year. We've only brought 2 of them as babies before. So this past year was a big deal to bring all 3 of them. And they cosplayed with us. They were super well behaved. They did awesome. They were, I mean, we were so impressed. They were real troopers, and they loved it. Johnny's already talking about what he's going to wear next year.
Yeah,
so.
We don't know if we can squeeze it again because it is, of course,
it was a lot.
This is weird. It's a little bit more expensive to bring 5 people to Dragon Con instead of just 2.
Isn't that weird?
So
yeah, I'm right there with you. I understand your pain. It's a good pain to have. But you know, I think what will swing it for you is when you're like, oh, actually, if we cosplay as this, it will be having like mini versions would be really useful, and that's actually I was going to just ask them on as a final thing then, with them going to the cons and stuff, do they like Star Trek?
Yes,
they do. We have a lot to show them still, but they started ducking in while we would say, like, guys, we're just going to watch this episode of Strange New Worlds. You can go play or whatever. And then they'd come in and ask a question and sit down. And they watched all of Prodigy.
Love Prodigy. Love Lower Decks.
They whether all of that is appropriate for them or not, we're the parents of the year. But they love Lower Decks. So then when we said we were going to take them to Starbase Indy, they're like, we want to wear Lower Decks uniforms. Which I don't know if anyone knows this or not. They don't make children's size Lower Decks uniforms,
which is ludicrous.
Which is crazy. So I bought black and red and black and yellow polo shirts and blue and cut them all up and borrowed the collars and then put white ribbon and stuff and like made them Lower Decks uniforms. And I was like, sorry, these are a little rough and ready. And they were like, these are great. Lower Decks. They had a blast.
Well, not to make your kids jealous, but yesterday I just found on Vinted, that's like, I don't know if you have Vinted in the US, but it's basically you know, it's kind of like eBay, but it's actually, it used to be like eBay, but just clothes, but now it is just like eBay because people are selling everything on there. And I found what was advertised as like what did they have? I'm gonna find the picture now because it's too good. It was I need my screenshots because I had to screenshot because I don't have like an account with them because I don't use it. But of course my wife does. So it was Cosmart sports top. Okay? But it is not a sports top.
Oh my word.
What?
If I just got louder, it's because I leaned into the mic to see it.
I'm just going to zoom in so you can see the price.
What? Yeah, grab that.
Oh, I already bought it. I went straight away. Like
sports top.
Oh, so for those that are listening, it was brand new with tags, the Lower Deck command uniform in my size for £4.90, which is like free. Yeah. No, it was so that was an absolute bargain. So in fact, I'm looking to get like the badge. That's going to cost me more than the uniform.
Yeah. Gosh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so we'll cosplay together, me and your kids. I'll have to look after the kids for the 14 days you're on the cruise.
Oh,
and then,
good.
That's great. That's great.
And then the next year you can have mine and I'll do the cruise.
I like this bartering system. And it's like an exchange student program.
Exactly. So. It is tough though to get them, because I see the thing with my daughter, the episode I showed her was the Strange New Worlds, that I can't remember the name now, the singing episode basically.
Oh yeah, the musical, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, that might interest her a little bit. And then the other day I was watching the pilot of Enterprise while my son was in the room, just kind of, he was on the Switch, he was busy, and then when I paused it and like at one point he was like, "Oh, why'd you turn it off?" I was like,
Oh, okay.
But I think the trick is that I put it on in the evening when it's like time for bed. Like, no, it's time for bed now. And then they'll like want to, but I will still watch a bit of this with you, because they think that will make me happy, and then it won't be bad if they're going to bed. But it is it's hard to find, like, you think, oh, it's just Star Trek, like it's absolutely fine. And then you kind of start thinking about some of the content and you're like, oh yeah, I don't know if I can explain that away to them. Like, I don't know, maybe like somebody's hot take episode would be an interesting one to show your kids. And
yeah.
So if anyone wants to know what Ryan might have suggested, was it you, Ryan, that suggested
it? Was me. Yep.
It
was me.
So if anyone wants to go and listen to their panel and see what episode Ryan feels gets, unjustly.
I'm just saying, there's a little bit of baked-in sexism into the reaction to that show. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're touching on different topics now.
That's true. That's different.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh,
it's been
a pleasure.
Yeah,
it's been a fun chat. Before I let you go, though, we have to do the incoming transmission.
Incoming transmission.
Yes,
maybe a sound effect for that. Who knows? I'm saying it all out loud to force myself to do it. Otherwise, it's going to be that. It's going to be Leonard Nimoy versions of me going that we've now learned to fix. So I didn't find any in advance. So what I'm going to do, because I put up a reel recently that a lot of people have just been commenting on, and every time I go in, there's new comments. Like 99 new comments on there. So let's have a look and see.
Wow.
I don't want to hear my voice. That's not good. So let's see. Talking about why why it's a pro. So I know you guys haven't even seen the episode yet, but basically, why did we see a Cheron native in the 31st century? This is the 32nd century. This is a problem for people. Let's see what some people are telling me. This could be the reason. 800 years passed since TOS. Cheron was spacefaring society. They're surviving off-world. Yeah, I know. I said that in the video. If you'd watched, there was one in section 31 as well. So delayed guess. I also said that at the end of the video. If you'd watched.
Yeah, section 31. I forgot there was one in there. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see your reason to complain about it, considering there is Star Trek. There's over 100 different ways how there could be another one. I actually took the bait on this one and responded. So I'm not complaining. I'm simply pointing out what some people are saying and offering a possible explanation.
Yeah.
So,
can't complain.
So basically, if you send me something on TikTok, I will read it, because I can't help myself.
Against your better judgment, you will read it.
Yeah. Excellent. So before we go, so as I said, people, if you want to send in things, email trekommendations@gmail.com, TikTok, Instagram, that's where you'll find me. But that's me. But what if people want to follow you guys over at Starship Tempest?
So we are at starshiptempest.com is our landing page. You can find all the things. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can usually find us. And we're on Instagram and Blue Sky and
Threads
and
all the social media platforms. Anywhere you water your hole, that's where. That's not that phrase.
No, that's not the phrase.
That's not the phrase.
At Starship Tempest, with no spaces, and we're around on Facebook, I guess. We're around and happy to chat. We also, if you need to get a hold of us for any reason, you can use starshiptempest@gmail.com.
And people can go back and they can listen to your show. You've done, is it season 5 now, isn't it?
It is. Oh, also we have a season and some extra stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel. We want to develop it and flesh it out a little bit more. We haven't really had the time to do that. So we do have season 1 where we go through the whole season on YouTube, and it's just animated versions of ourselves playing the game. So, and first, if you don't know what it is, Starship. See, I did it, Jason. Starship Tempest is an actual play podcast that is sort of hybrid with a audio drama. So we sort of blur the line between audio drama and actual play. So if you're a fan of tabletop tabletop RPGs, thank you, and Star Trek, this is the perfect thing for you to listen to. And if you like Star Trek audio drama, we have plenty of elements in there for that as well. So we are now on season 5. We are actively releasing season 5, actively in the editing process for that. We are recording season 6, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. And a few weeks ago, there was an episode that we released on here that was with Ed Pogue from Boosting the Signal and My Figures Universe. And it was like a combined episode where we did episode with him on here. And then the same day was released an episode I recorded on his show.
Oh,
and
that's
on
cool.
his show, he obviously flipped the script and said, you're always asking people for recommendations. What would you recommend? My recommendation was Starship Tempest. So
thank you.
There you go.
That's
so if you want to hear an explanation of what I think the show is and how I butcher explaining what it is, go and listen to on Ed's podcast, because that was a fun chat as well. Thank you so much to Ryan and Tara.
Yes.
There was a hand gesture there. No one will understand why, but I know why. And not just because we both like to talk with our hands.
Yes, we can't help ourselves.
Been lovely having you on. Thank you everyone for listening. I will be back next week with another guest and another Trekommendation.
Ending program.